So it's been around a month since the Mighty Movie official trailer dropped, and since then it's been rather quiet when it comes to new footage for the film, until recently, where the Paw Patrol Official and Friends YouTube channel posted 3 how-to vids on some of the Mighty Movie toys, and with it comes new scenes from the movie. Today we'll be taking a look at these new scenes and see what we can uncover. As I mentioned earlier, all the scenes I'm about to show come from Paw Patrol Official and Friends YouTube channel. All credit goes to them, of course, for showing this footage. I'm not going to show too much of the toys themselves unless it's something important or of interest. We'll spend most of the vid going over the scenes themselves. Let's begin with the aircraft carrier vid, and the only new scene we get from this is this aerial shot of the aircraft carrier in this docking area. This is the first time we've seen it outside of it completely in movie animation. It looks pretty nice, I gotta say. You have 2 separate lanes where the vehicles will be launched from, as well as these 2 pads where I'm assuming the vehicles will rise up from. I'm sure the 2 lanes was done specifically for the toy itself, but neat nonetheless. There is also a helicopter pad towards the back of the carrier, so that could be used for Skye when she lands her copter. There is also a Paw Patrol logo towards the right front of the carrier as well. Again, this carrier looks good so far, maybe better than the Sea Patroller, but I don't think that's a fair comparison. One's a full-blown on carrier, and the other one is just a plain ship. What else is interesting about this is how there is now a big body of water near the city, and if you remember in the first movie, the only times we see any body of water are behind the lookout tower and when Zuma makes his big rescue. It seems like they added this body of water in for the aircraft carrier alone, but this could, if they did this, then this could be a chance for Zuma to get some good moments because, Bronker did say that Zuma was going to have some important moments in the film, and this could be something. More body of water means more opportunity for him, hopefully. Let's move on to the chase cruiser vid, and the only scene we get from this one is the pups taking off from the aircraft carrier in their first movie vehicles. You can also see Rubble, Ryder, and Rocky waiting to take off. Marshall also comes into frame in the other lane once Chase is released. What I find odd about this toy show off is the scene shows Chase's cruiser from the first movie, and in the toy they show in the vid is Chase's mighty cruiser. Not sure why they did that, but it's not that important. So, where does this scene take place timeline wise in the film? Some of you might say it takes place in the introduction with Waterford Rescue, if that ends up happening, still not confirmed. But I don't see this scene happening in the introduction. As we know from the trailer, the lookout tower gets destroyed by the mighty meteor, and with it destroyed, the pups need somewhere to rest for the night somewhere else. And that's when the aircraft carrier is introduced. It would make more sense to bring it in after this than before, because the lookout is still quite operational at the beginning of the mighty movie, and they can still use it for deployments. My best bet on where this scene occurs is at the end of the film, because I'm assuming something happens to their mighty vehicles and they can't utilize them anymore, and it would give reason for them to revert back to the pup's first movie vehicles and deploy from the aircraft carrier. On to the last vid with Skye's jet. There are 2 new scenes here. The first one shows Skye taking off from the aircraft carrier, and for a split second, you can see Rocky deploying on the left side of the carrier. Not much to say about this one, other than this scene might be taking place before this scene in the trailer, where we see Skye's jet flying through Adventure City. And then we have the last scene. This one is probably the most important out of the 4 that we've gotten. We see Skye in her mighty jet with her paws glowing, so I'm guessing that she's using whatever her jet's ability is. She does say a bit of dialogue in this scene for a brief second, but in the video we can't hear what Skye says. And I think we have a pretty clear picture of where this scene takes place. It could be right towards the end of the film, where the giant meteor is heading towards Adventure City. But the big question we need to ask ourselves is how do we get from this scene to this one where Skye punches through a chunk of the meteor? The best scenario I can think is Skye trying to take out some of the meteor pieces with her jet, but it gets hit by one or multiple meteor pieces, and she is forced to eject from her jet to avoid crash landing with it. Don't worry, Skye, Ryder has insurance for that. I hope so. Anyway, with her jet out of commission, Skye has to take matters into her own paws, literally, and destroys the meteor pieces with her strength. Also, it's hard to tell if Skye has the 6 crystals that we see when she's punching the meteor, as her pup tag area is blocked, but I'm assuming that she does have them on her. That's just my take on the matter. If you have a different theory on what goes on with Skye in the sequence, let me know down below, and what your thoughts are on the other scenes we have gotten. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all again next time.